Hi there, I'm Dr. Ketki Pawar Chavan, and I am the author of this book, The Emotional Reset. I just thought it would be a great idea to read a chapter of my book today for you. This book is for anyone who feels trapped in a cycle of negative thinking, emotional overwhelm, or self doubt and is ready to break free and create a more positive and resilient version of themselves. So let's start reading something from the first chapter. Chapter 1, Why We Focus on the Bad, Understanding the Negativity Bias. A single negative thought can put a person into a downward spiral. It takes a flood of positive thoughts to pull them out. Roy T. Bennett. You're hiking on a hill and suddenly sense something moving in the bushes. Your heart starts pounding in your chest, your mind starts imagining a wild animal, and you start trembling with fear. Even though you don't know what's out there, you've already assumed that it's something that can harm you. Why do we react this way? Why do we assume the worst? The answer lies in the concept of the negativity bias. Most of us tend to focus on negative things more than the positive ones. Our brain is just wired that way, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a big reason why you and I are alive today, because our ancestors wouldn't have survived if they didn't pay attention to negative stimuli more than positive ones. If they were overly positive and didn't consider the dangers around them while hanging out in the forest, most of them would have ended up in the stomach of a tiger by the end of the day. It's good for us that they didn't have many self help books and positivity books back then, right? The negativity bias doesn't just affect adults, it starts from the time that you were just a baby. Research has found that infants show stronger reactions to a person frowning at them versus a person smiling at them. It shows just how deeply rooted this bias is in our minds. Also, studies have shown that the neurons in our brain are activated more when processing negative information. It means that your brain makes you dwell on negative experiences and thoughts more intensely. You must have experienced this. You get 10 positive comments on your pictures, but a single negative one can easily ruin your day. Why do news channels only focus on the negative stories of crime, disasters, and scandals? Because they know people won't pay as much attention to positive news. You may be in a great relationship with an awesome partner and they might do lots of nice things for you. But if they make one mistake, you might find yourself fixating on it and judging your entire relationship and their character based on that one mistake. In today's times, where the chances of a tiger crashing your morning office meeting are very minimal, the negativity bias can do us more harm than good. That's why there are self help books to remind and teach us how to be more positive. Let's explore some of the downsides of the negativity bias in today's age. Number one, chronic stress, anxiety, and depression. The problem with the negativity bias is that it can contribute to mental health issues like anxiety and depression. It's a bias, after all. A bias is an unfair or unbalanced tendency or a prejudice against something. It can make you favor one thing over another without a solid reason. You can't trust this bias to make decisions for you. You can think of it like wearing red tinted glasses and complaining that the world is red. We should be aware of negative things but not focus on them to the extent that they will make us view the entire world in a negative light and make us a pessimist. Number two, relationship problems. If you only pointed out your partner's flaws and fixated on them, it's obvious that such a relationship will not survive for long. These days, people are quick to spot a potential partner's bad traits, popularly known as red flags. While it's important to recognize legitimate concerns, hyper focusing on these flaws without considering the full picture can blind you to the positive qualities your partner brings to the relationship. It's not just bad for them, but for you too, because you're missing out on the good things they can do for you. This applies to other relationships in your life as well. Every person you meet is going to have some flaws, including yourself. If you only focus on the negative qualities of people, you won't be able to form genuine friendships. If you want others to overlook your flaws and accept you as you are, you have to be willing to do the same for them. Number 3, poor decision making. Negativity bias can make you judge the world unfairly and can influence your decisions as a result. It makes you focus only on the risks of doing something, turning you into an overly cautious person. Let's say you want to start a business. You'll find hundreds of reasons why you shouldn't start a business. Did you know that around 80% of startups don't make it past their first 5 years? If I had focused on this one bit of information, I wouldn't have been able to start a business. So I consciously chose to focus on the success stories of the business world to gather that courage. If you only focus on the negative information, it can prevent you from growing and learning new things. Even if you don't succeed, at least you will have gained valuable experience to start another business venture and increase your chances of making it big. Number 4, physical health problems. Focusing on negativity creates stress in your mind and body. If you let that stress accumulate in your mind and for a long time, it will turn into chronic stress, which can affect your physical health in many ways, including weakened immunity, cardiovascular problems, unexplained aches and pains, gut health issues, and sleep disturbances. When you are on autopilot, you don't recognize the negative thoughts and how they impact your mental health. Over time, they can get deeply rooted in your mind and start to feel like they're a part of you. They don't just affect how you feel, they also start to dictate how you will react in a certain situation. For example, if you have a habit of underestimating yourself and thinking, I'm not good enough or things never work out for me, I'm just unlucky, you will never go out of your comfort zone and do things that help you grow, like starting a business, going for that interview, getting your book or your music album out there, no matter how talented you may be. While our minds are naturally inclined to focus on the negative, we hold the power to shift this tendency. The most important thing is to be aware of this negativity bias so that you can change your perspective when you start thinking negative thoughts. We need to see things from a balanced perspective. In step 3, reframe, we will learn how we can change the way we look at our experiences and reshape our emotional responses. The journey from negativity to positivity is not instantaneous, but each step we take in this direction makes a difference. Now, there is a practical exercise that I've given in my book. Spot your negativity bias. Number 1, reflect on feedback. Think about the last time you received feedback at work or school. How much time did you spend thinking about the positive aspects versus the negative ones? A. I mostly focused on the positive feedback. Option B is I equally considered both positive and negative feedback. Option C is I fixated on the negative feedback more than the positive. Number 2, reacting to mistakes. When you make a mistake, how do you typically react? Option A, I acknowledge it, learn from it, and move on. Option B, I think about it briefly, but it doesn't affect me much. C, I dwell on it and worry about making the same mistake again. Number 3, first impressions. When meeting someone new, do you find yourself focused on their positive qualities or their flaws? A, I notice and appreciate their positive traits first. B, I see both positive and negative qualities equally. C, I tend to notice flaws or potential issues before anything else. 4, daily reflections. At the end of the day, do you find yourself thinking more about what went well or what went wrong? Option A, I mostly think about good things that happened. Option B, I think about both good and bad things equally. C, I focus on what went wrong or what could have been better. Question 5, Social interactions. After a social event, how do you typically feel? A. I feel good about the positive interactions I had. B. I think about both positive and awkward moments equally. And C. I often worry about any awkward moments or things I say that might have been misunderstood. Here's how you can score yourself. If most of your answers were A's, then you generally have a positive outlook and don't let negativity bias affect you much. Mostly B's, you have a balanced perspective, but there might be moments where negativity bias creeps in. Mostly C's, you tend to focus on the negative more than the positive, indicating a stronger negativity bias. Now, if you scored mostly A's, you have a positive mindset and are less likely to be influenced by negativity bias. Keep nurturing this attitude by practicing gratitude and focusing on positive experiences. Mostly B's, you have a good balance between positivity and negativity, but there's room to improve your outlook. Pay attention to when negativity creeps in and try to consciously redirect your focus towards positive. If you scored mostly C's, it's normal to have moments of focusing on the negative, but this exercise shows that your negativity bias might be influencing your thoughts more than you would like. The good news is that the practical tools given in step 3 reframe can help you train your mind to shift towards a more balanced and positive perspective. Thank you for spending this time with me. And if you'd like to grab a copy of this book, the link is in the description. And if you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell icon. I'll see you soon. Bye.